God, this. If I could sum up female dating strategy, this right here is the stupidity of female dating strategy. Right here. Science has proven that you feel better when you smile. Very true. Unless a man is telling you to do it, in which case, never smile. Now, the way I read that is that these women are so stubborn that even though they know something is good for them, like smiling, they will refuse to do it just because a man. Just because a man. That right there sums up female dating strategies. Don't do something that's good for you because a man had something to do with it. That's just the attitude, guys. All right, I don't want to, but I am really starting to hate men. This is from a female dating strategies newbie. I am so tired of F-boys and liars and cheaters. I am so tired of online dating profiles filled with shirtless, dirty bathroom selfies and dead deer trophies. Which, by the way, guys, if you've gone through any of my online dating courses or anything, you know that I tell guys to not take either of those pictures. Shirtless, dirty bathroom selfies and dead deer trophies. So I understand what she's saying there. And poorly written paragraphs instructing women on how to behave. I'm so tired of men who are entitled and lazy and completely full of it. I cannot get through 10 minutes of online profiles without seeing men with nothing but photos. Not one word on their profiles. No effort. Or they have long lists of ridiculous expectations for a potential mate despite being very clearly low-value male. Or they are semi-literate. Or they're condescending, misogynistic, just looking for sex, or just gross. There are good men out there, but darn, they seem to be far and few between. And I'm really at a point where I'm thinking, should I even bother, wait for it, guys, should I even effing bother dating in my 40s? There it is, man. There it is. It is so exhausting. Can you imagine what this woman was thinking 20 years ago? 20 years ago was a different story for her. Even 10 years ago was a different story for her. But when she's in her 40s, this is what she's dealing with, man. And she's going to take this online dating or this female dating strategy mindset with her wherever she goes. She's going to repel men that she might be interested in because she just doesn't know how to be feminine anymore. It's just how it happens. But yeah, dating in her 40s is tough. But this is what a lot of men, it's like the reverse effect. A lot of men in their teens and 20s, it's extremely hard for men in that sense. And then it flips. But to women that have had it so good for so long, and then boom, the wall hits, then they don't get as much suitors and attention. Man, that's such a, they're thinking the patriarchy is for real because they literally, their life gets worse and worse as they age. So to them, it started out nice, and now they feel like their freedoms and all of their value is being taken away from the patriarchy, but they don't realize that they had it so unrealistically good early on. And then as they get older, it gets harder. So this is why women have such a bitterness when they get older, because it actually gets harder for them, where it's virtually the opposite for men. That's why men, as you age, can get a little bit more like, dude, I'm cool with it. I'm feeling pretty good about my life. But to women, it's not the same thing. It's just not the same thing. Yeah, hang it up. Hang up the cleats. Yeah. What's up, AJ? All right, we have some comments for this one, man. And then we'll leave with the meme. All right, first one here. Osama bin Ladle. 39 upvotes. I don't want to be a misandrist, but it's so hard not to. And misandrist is basically like a misogynist, but girl version. But it's so hard not to when it's just women trying to progress for equality, and the amount of men that actually are awesome and want to support us is so marginalized. And then you got, girl, you're awesome. Thanks for this. So she's mad that women are trying so hard to progress for equality. Again, I'm assuming that she's from the Western world. I get it that it is horrible still in some parts of the country, some parts of the world for women. I get it. All right. That's far different than this. A lot of women in the Western world just have no idea, and they still think they're fighting against something. And they're surprised that there aren't enough men that support them. Well, really what she's surprised about is there's not high value men with status, men with a backbone that support them. Why? Because the male feminists like Brandon Evers, I had to give him more spotlight, guys. I couldn't help myself. These guys, these male feminists, are not attractive to women. These women are disgusted by these men except for having them on their team to post stupid stuff like this. They're not attracted to them. So even if they say they are, or they say, well, the men that are trying to progress equality with us, like those guys just stand, they're so bottom of the totem pole, man. They are so bottom of the totem pole. All right, that's just comments 1 of like 5 here. Let's see some others. Okay. FDS Apprentice. Oh my God, are you me? I am doing the exact same thing. I deleted online dating a few weeks ago and blocked everyone. It was very boring at first, but then I realized I was used to meaningless chatter and noise. It's been 3 weeks and I'm finally getting used to it. When did you start your journey? So this girl is 3 weeks into her journey of giving up on men, and she's loving it. 3 weeks in. Imagine the rest of her life. 3 weeks. She's liking it for 3 weeks. The rest of her life, she's not going to like it. She's just not going to. She just won't. FDS Disciple. It was like that for me too, at first. But eventually the loneliness does begin to wear on you. I'm giving her credit. She's being truthful. You don't find this often, guys. This is an FDS Disciple. At this point, I'd choose loneliness over dealing with scumbag men. I've been in a long-term clown relationship with a low-effort guy before, and it felt much more lonely than it does to be single and free. Sitting through all of the crappy guys on online dating sites who just want to cheat on their wives and girlfriends and who use women as holes for their penises is more depressing than just being lonely. Maybe that mindset that she has right there is the reason why no sane men will even want to hang out with her or come around her. This is what she's projecting into the world. And then she reads signs from men, and then she jumps to conclusions that all of them are out to get her. I'm not going to let comments like, you'll get lonely after a while, make me doubt my decision to take a much-needed break from dating. The positives of not dating outweigh the negatives for me. I'm just effing done. Understandable. I'm actually cool with this, and this is what a lot of guys, the mindset is like, dude, the positives of dating just do not outweigh the negatives. And I get it. I totally understand. And so same with these women. If this is their mindset, then you know what? I'm fine with that. If they're just like, cool, I'm going to go my own way as a woman, I would be fine with that. I'm sure we'd all would. But we know that won't be the truth. We know that these are going to be the women that sit back in their little woman cave and they just hang on YouTube channels that are exposing truth to men, and then they'll flag them. They will report them. They will be the ones marching. They will do all that stuff so they won't just go their own way peacefully like men are doing. They have to throw their crap on the wall and have someone listen to it. So if they would peacefully walk away, I would have no problem with that, but we just know that won't be the case, and it will only get worse with age. From 30 on, every year, it'll just get angrier and angrier as she's being her keyboard warrior there. That was there's more comments to this. I think this FDS disciple comes back. We'll see if I remember correctly. Yep, there she is. So she's coming back. I'm not saying it's not better to be alone. It definitely is. I'd rather be alone and lonely than in a relationship and lonely too, like you said. I'm just saying that it's basically choosing between the lesser of two super crappy things. It's not all it's cracked up to be, regardless how we spin it. I think trying to make out being single to be all sparkles and rainbows and carefree would be lying to myself. It's just better than being abused. I will give her credit for that one too. That she's like, don't lie to ourselves. But see, this is where I do believe that there's a big difference between men and women, because I know a lot of guys that are just like, dude, I gave up on it and I'm actually feel really good about my life. Versus most women, that feeling of freedom and that feeling that a lot of us men get, it doesn't last for long because we're built differently. They're built to be social. They're built to make those connections. So to men, it's not quite as big of a deal if you do just decide, hey, I'm done, I'm walking away. Or you can just still hang out with women on your own basis. Like that's what I do. But to women, it's just the perks are just not the same for women that go their own way. And if they are happy about it, fine, I'm happy. Be peaceful and do that. But it's just not the same. It's just not the same. That whole women's body, her choice, the fact that she's able to get pregnant and have kids, which she gets all the power. We all know that her body, her choice. It's not a guy's wallet, his choice. When, if they're about to have a kid, he has to choose. He has to pay child support. So that is a disadvantage for us men. We can't do that. We can't, procreate and all that. However, the advantage is we don't have that biological urge inside of us that a lot of women have, and that's why they become unhappy when they don't end up having a family or sharing their, life with someone else. Angry post-ball women, you're describing my entire childhood. My mom and two older sisters. Yeah, man, I got lucky, man. I grew up with two other brothers, and my mom and dad. Like, I didn't have to deal with any of this or see any of that. I guess in one way I got lucky. The other way is I didn't get that previous experience, so I guess I was blind a little bit. But it is interesting when some of you guys see this from a younger age or from a different perspective. All right, now we got FDS newbie combating the disciple. Maybe this is your perspective, but I've been single, no dating at all, for a while now. I do wish for a boyfriend sometimes. The worst is going to all the parties, weddings, holiday parties, etc., alone. Okay, right there. There's a good difference. Now, this to me could be different. It might be different to me than other people. But me personally, I actually love, even if I was like, there's sometimes where I'd be seeing a girl more frequently than other women. And so there'd be times where it's like, oh, I could bring her to a wedding or something like that. But I personally feel a lot better going to parties, weddings, holiday parties completely single because I don't have to entertain someone. So that right there is different because a lot of women get hounded at those events. Oh, you're single? Oh, you don't have a boyfriend? I don't get it. You're so pretty. Why haven't you? They have to deal with all of that crap, guys. That to us guys, it's just like, nah, man, I'm good, man. I feel good. I can party all night if I want to, and I don't have to get told what to do. It's so funny. It's so funny seeing my buddies that are in relationships or marriage, and it's like we're at like a party or something. It's like, hey, man, we're gonna start playing some drinking games. Let's go. Let's get going, man. Let's party. And you see the looking at the wife, looking at the girlfriend. Hey, am I allowed to drink a couple beers tonight? Can I do that? Or will I get in trouble? It's like, I'm glad, free as a bird, man. But I would say 90% of the time, I am very happy to be single. For example, I am surprised I find traveling alone fun. I find it fun with a partner as well. I also love having all this extra time and energy to be into myself. I know it sounds childish and selfish, but it's truly enjoyable. I would say being single can be just as amazing as being in a relationship. It depends what you make of it. But being in a bad relationship is the worst of all. I never felt more lonely during bad times in relationships. I won't fault her for that one. I think that's fair. That last part. They don't need a therapist. They need an exorcist. That's funny. All right, we got a couple more comments on this one. Boop. Here comes the FDS disciple coming back. It's not childish or selfish at all. Developing yourself is paramount. Patriarchy does. See, this is where I had her back for like 2 messages, but then we come to this. Patriarchy does everything possible to prevent this, so we'll remain infantilized and abused by men. But I'm not going to pretend I'm entirely happy. Maybe other people are, but I'm not. I'm actually constantly heartbroken at how much men dehumanize us, objectify us. Man, when you have the mindset that the patriarchy does everything possible to hold you down, then everything a man does, you're going to be able to spin it to objectifying you or dehumanizing you. Like, that's just the mind that they'll live in. That's the reality that they will set up for themselves. Basically, I don't see it as a healthy objective to be with them despite how much I want to be. I'm basically only alone for my own safety at this point, not because I actually want to be. So I'm quite miserable either way. At least she's being honest. And I really don't. I don't wish misery on anyone. I really don't. That does not get me excited at all to see someone else miserable or angry or all that. Like, that doesn't make me feel good. But when you latch on to female dating strategies, this is going to be your life, ladies. I think the most heartbreaking thing in the world is when someone you love dearly doesn't even consider you to be human. I'm sure a lot of men feel this way. Just an object made for his utility. I know a lot of men feel this way. I hate this world. We live in a fallen world. We do. All right, now this is all the same post, guys. 266 upvotes. We'll see how this one goes. I was there 1 year ago. 4 years of hardcore dating. Tried all of the online dating apps. Went on many dates, sometimes 8 in 1 week. All right, guys, let's take that and let's go back to that first post that second post about women need to compare. Compare the man you're with to every other man you've ever been with. Do they understand why they're unhappy? This woman went out on 8 dates in 1 week. How many? And she was 4 years of hardcore dating. We can assume that it wasn't 8 dates every single week, but we can assume her body count is pretty dang high. And a lot of experiences. Now think about this, 8 dates in 1 week. Think about all the different dates she's been on. And now again, any guy she has, compare him to all the other guys, all the other strangers you met, all the other guys that took you out to these nice dinners. This guy won't do that for me. And I was getting 8 dates in 1 week before. So this guy's not willing to do everything that all these other guys are doing for me. Well, I'm a queen now. This guy doesn't deserve me. Move along, peasant. She doesn't realize her own expectations are screwing with her life. I finally decided to throw in the towel and become comfortable with being single for the rest of my life. I knew I could get laid whenever I wanted. Dick is abundant, true. So I just focused on using my free time to enjoy life rather than find a partner. I started going to EDM, electronic dance music, just so you know, which actually I enjoy EDM. I do like to listen to this. But I started going to EDM shows every weekend. Okay, guys, this right here, if you know a girl that's into EDM shows and she goes to those concerts, I know the type of women that go to these guys. These are the type of women that have had the opportunities, whether they all took them or not, they've had the opportunities for a bunch of gangbangs. I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying these EDM shows and stuff like that gets pretty crazy. And these girls are doing Molly or drugs or whatever down for new experiences. Well, dang, now she wants a guy. Well, how can one guy ever fulfill her the way 6 penises fulfilled her that one night? I mean, I'm being a little, exaggerating a little bit, but I know some women that definitely have had trains ran on them, multiple times. So when I needed sex, I went through my Rolodex and hit up men from my past until I found one to sleep with. However, indulging in my non-sexual interests made me so happy that I found I needed sex less and less. Well, guess what? Now if she does find a guy, that guy's not going to be getting sex, guys. He's not going to get the sex, right? He's not going to get the treatment that he wants. He's going to be getting, she doesn't need sex anymore. So she just wants him for the non-sexual interest. That's just how it's going to be. Alpha seeds, beta needs. I was at a technology-related event when I met my current partner. He was very handsome and intelligent, and he was forward but respectful when he asked me what my relationship status was. I told him I wasn't dating, but I'd be happy to be friends, as he enjoyed going to EDM shows. We went to a few events together that he paid for, of course. And then he asked me to get together one-on-one for drinks as friends. I agreed because he offered to pay. Equality. I can't believe you let him pay. Man, I can't believe you would do that. Doesn't that lose some of that empowerment when you let a man pay? I mean, you should be angry at him for even attempting to try to pay for you. Wow, what a misogynist, thinking that you couldn't pay your own way. And I figured we could discuss tech and EDM. Well, long story short, we ended up becoming a couple, and he's the best partner I've ever had, by far. The principles of FDS, female dating strategies, are spot on. This man was respectful and pursued me. He later told me he knew if he could just get me to talk with him one-on-one, I'd like him. He had a higher hurdle to clear than any of the F-boys I entertained in the 4 years prior when I was a pick-misha, and he was happy to do what it took to get me. It's so true that you find love when you're not looking for it. She owns this man, and she will not be happy with this man. He will not be happy either when he gets screwed over. F online dating. Seriously? It has all the low-value men. It's easy to think all men are trash when you only really interact with the ones who are single or cheating and lying about their relationship status. I feel like most single men are trash, and that's who you find in the dating markets. Most high-value men are in relationships. It's all about timing. You got to catch the high-value men in the narrow window between their relationships. So that part right there is, again, why I do believe at some point women that are in relationships or married will start siding with MGTOW Red Pill men, simply because these other women are going to go, the only way to find a high-value man, a man that's willing to commit to them, is they're in relationships. You got to catch them right when they get out of one. Well, these women are going to start trying to vulture these men from relationships, get their baitum on, and then these other women that have these baitum on right now are going to start swatting them away. Get out of here. No. And then they're going to start to try to talk some, I think. I mean, I have no idea. I really have no idea. But it's interesting. I don't think high-value men enjoy online dating, so you got to look elsewhere for them. It's so lovely to meet someone while you're doing something you enjoy, because then there's no compromising when it comes to shared activities. That was a long one. All right. I'm going to end you guys. I got 7 minutes before I got to get out here. I'm going to end you guys with a meme. Meme time. I don't need a boyfriend to feel fulfilled. I just need male taxpayers to pay for my pads, tampons, birth control, abortion, and general health care. But I don't need no man. It's true, though. Women these days don't need no man because they get big daddy government, man, to bail them out. You know what, though? See, I'm at a predicament again because I think I mentioned this before, right? Some guys say, if all men become red-pilled, the whole system might change, and then they'll figure out other ways to extract resources from men, which is true. That we do need more. I guess we need enough simps to keep some of these women happy enough, because all of these women that become 30, 40 and older, and then they get angry and bitter, those angry older women that aren't getting attention from men are going to be the ones picket signing with their pink pussy hats, and they're going to be the ones that are trying to lead these younger women astray. Just angry and all that. So we need more simps to take up some of these women to distract them, so that they don't have all this time on their hands to plot other ways to take our money as single guys that just want to live in peace. So maybe, what do you guys think? Should I create some simp videos to get some guys to be simps, just to take some of the heat off of our hands, guys? Nah, I can't do that. Someone else will do that for me. Plenty of other guys. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe.